Hello, English learners. Welcome back to another podcast here with us at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're bringing you another part of our sports series. And this time it's an advanced lesson.
That's right. We're heading to the mountains today to take a skiing lesson.
All right, so we're going to be learning about skiing, a winter sport and very popular throughout the world. So before we get started, why don't we take a look at a couple of words in vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
All right, so we're going to hear these two words in our dialogue. The first one is fresh powder.
Fresh powder.
Fresh powder.
Okay, so powder. We probably know this phrase already.
Yeah, but here we're talking about fresh, light snow.
So fresh, light snow that recently fell.
Yep.
Okay, so it looks like powder.
The best kind for skiing on.
Okay, the best kind. All right, so fresh powder. What about our next phrase?
Well, we're also going to meet a 4-time giant slalom champion.
All right, a 4-time giant slalom champion.
Okay, so giant slalom is a type of ski race.
When you probably see it on TV when they go down the hill and they have to go through these red or blue flags, right?
Yep. Now, 4-time giant slalom champion means he won the giant slalom 4 times.
Okay, so this is an interesting way of saying that somebody did something many times.
Right.
So I can say the 3-time Nobel Prize winner.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Or the 5-time Olympic gold medalist.
Okay, perfect. So now it's time for us to go to the mountains with our famous Rick Fields and Bob Copeland, and we'll see what happens.
Welcome, ski lovers of all ages. My name is Rick Fields, and here with me is the man that needs no introduction, Bob Copeland.
Thank you, Rick. What a beautiful day here in Aspen, Colorado, where the sun is shining and we've got 12 inches of fresh powder. It doesn't get much better than this.
That's right, Bob, but today we have a special treat for our viewers. We're joined here by Ian Rusi, 4-time giant slalom champion. And on this special edition of the show, Ian is going to teach us the basics of skiing, so let's hit the slopes.
Well, first off, let's get those boots on. You're going to want to make sure your boots fit snugly. That's right. Now snap them into your bindings. And you're also going to want a good pair of goggles to protect your eyes. It's a bright day today, so there's going to be a lot of glare out there on the slopes. We don't want you hitting any of those moguls.
Bob, since you're a beginner skier and might take a few spills, it's a good idea to have a good warm pair of dry ski gloves.
Easy there, Rick. Well, let's head over onto the chairlift and test your skills. All right, we're up here on the bunny hill, so Bob, why don't you do a few snowplow turns? Gnarly run, Rick. Nice carving. You've got some mad skills. That was sick.
You want to see gnarly? Well, see that bump over there? I'm going to catch some major air.
Butt plant.
He lost his skis. Yard sale.
Well, thanks for joining us here today. I think that about does it. Bob, Ian, time for some après-ski?
No way, man. We're off to grab some freshies.
Pretty embarrassing for Rick there, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was a little bit cocky. And then he ended up falling.
Well, I think there's a lesson in that for all of us. But what the real lesson is today is language. So why don't we start with language takeaway?
Language takeaway.
All right, on language takeaway today, let's take a look at the first word. We have some bindings.
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 Bindings are sort of like a lock that attaches your boot to your ski.
So those are the bindings. I guess it comes from the verb to bind.
Yeah, to tie something so that it stays.
Okay, binding.
So for example, my bindings are broken.
Okay, and another piece of skiing equipment, and very important, is goggles.
Goggles.
Okay, we have goggles now.
Yep, not to be confused with Google.
It's spelled almost the same way, huh?
Yep, but goggles are kind of like, imagine a big pair of glasses that you wear when you ski.
So it makes people kind of look like flies.
Yes,
They
yeah.
have these huge glasses.
Yeah, and you'll also see safety goggles, which you might wear if you are a mechanic fixing a car or someone working with wood or chemicals or what have you.
Okay, so goggles basically protect your eyes from snow, from the sun, from anything.
That's right.
All right.
So moving on to our next ski word. They said you should wear the goggles so that you don't accidentally go over the moguls.
Okay, moguls.
Moguls.
Okay, moguls. It sounds kind of strange. What are these things?
Basically, these are the bumps that are in a ski hill.
Bumps. Okay, so they're kind of like mini little hills.
Yep.
And they're very difficult to ski over, right?
That's right. You got to be pretty good to handle those moguls.
Okay.
Now, since these guys are beginner skiers, they're starting out on the bunny hill.
A bunny hill.
The bunny hill.
Okay, very popular among skiers. The bunny hill is the easiest hill. So it's where the beginners start to learn.
Yeah, all the kids.
All the kids are on the bunny hill.
All right, and our final words. Actually, we're going to look at two words here because they mean almost exactly the same thing. We heard the ski instructor say gnarly.
Gnarly run.
Yeah, gnarly. So an interesting word, it's spelled Gnarley.
Okay, so, but you don't say gnarly.
No,
You
just-
say gnarly.
Yep. And a related word, sick.
Okay, now, sick means to be sick, right?
No, not here. Let's listen to some examples to help us understand.
Example 1.
Those were some sick dance moves. You are amazing.
Example 2.
Jack and I went to the beach yesterday and surfed some really gnarly waves.
Example 3.
Man, the concert last night was sick. I can't believe we got front row seats.
Okay, so basically gnarly and sick, they mean that it's amazing, it was cool.
It's awesome.
Awesome.
Yep.
So these two words are very, very informal. It's slang.
Yeah, and actually skier slang. Both of these words, I think, originated with skiers, snowboarders, skateboarders. Gnarly dudes.
Gnarly dudes. Okay, so that's all the words we have for language takeaway. But we have some great phrases that we want to take a look at before we listen to the dialogue again. So it's time now for Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
All right, so Rick said that it is time to... So Rick invited everyone to start skiing by saying, let's hit the slopes.
Okay, so to hit the slopes.
To hit the slopes.
Okay, now we want to hit the slopes. What does that mean?
Go skiing.
Let's go skiing.
Yep.
Let's go to the mountain.
Yep.
Now we can change the noun slope for something else, right?
Yeah, you can change it for a lot of other different nouns. And why don't we hear some examples of how you can do that?
Example 1.
I really have to hit the books and study for my exam tomorrow.
Example 2.
I'm really tired. I think I'm going to hit the bed now.
Example 3.
Honey, can we hit the supermarket on our way home? I need to buy some milk.
Okay, great. So great examples, and now we understand how we can use the hit the something. All right. What about our next phrase?
Well, Rick warned Bob that he might take a few spills.
Okay, so to take a spill.
To take a spill.
Take a spill.
Fall.
To fall.
Yep.
It means like a light fall or
A pretty dramatic fall.
pretty dramatic. So
Yeah.
you fell.
Yeah.
So for example, instead of saying that little girl was riding her bike and she fell, I can say that little girl was riding her bike and she took a bad spill.
Yep.
Okay. So to take a spill. You have to use the verb take though.
Yes, exactly. You cannot just spill.
Okay. You have to take a spill. All right. What about our next phrase?
Well, you might take a spill when you catch some major air.
Okay. Catch some major air.
To catch some major air.
So am I catching something? How am I catching air? That's impossible.
Well, imagine if you're jumping and your skis are catching the air.
Ah, okay. So I'm in the air for a very long time, maybe?
Yeah, when you catch some air, basically it's like you're flying for a couple seconds.
So you're flying for a couple of seconds. You're very high up in the air.
Yep.
Okay, to catch some air.
Yeah, and you'll hear this phrase when you're, not only when you're talking about skiing, but also maybe if you're driving your car really fast and it sort of jumps up in the air for a minute. Well, not a minute, a second. That would be catching air as well.
Okay, so to catch air. All right, so they finished skiing. They were kind of tired, and he said, well, let's call it a day.
To call it a day.
Let's call it a day.
Let's go home.
Let's go home. It's over.
Let's finish.
Let's finish the day.
Yep.
let's call it a day and go home.
But not before we go to our next word, to grab some freshies.
All right, grab us some freshies.
Grab some freshies.
Okay, freshies. What are these freshies?
Well, remember we talked about fresh powder? It's that.
So it's an informal way of saying fresh powder.
Yeah, fresh, powdery, light snow.
Okay, freshies.
Yep, so the snow that nobody has skied on before.
Really good phrases and some amazing vocabulary. Let's listen to this dialogue one last time, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about this really fun sport.
Welcome, ski lovers of all ages. My name is Rick Fields, and here with me is the man that needs no introduction, Bob Copeland.
Thank you, Rick. What a beautiful day here in Aspen, Colorado, where the sun is shining and we've got 12 inches of fresh powder. It doesn't get much better than this.
That's right, Bob. But today we have a special treat for our viewers. We're joined here by Ian Rusi, four-time giant slalom champion. And on this special edition of the show, Ian is going to teach us the basics of skiing. So let's hit the slopes.
Well, first off, let's get those boots on. You're going to want to make sure your boots fit snugly. That's right. Now snap them into your bindings. And you're also going to want a good pair of goggles to protect your eyes. It's a bright day today, so there's going to be a lot of glare out there on the slopes. We don't want you hitting any of those moguls.
Bob, since you're a beginner skier and might take a few spills, it's a good idea to have a good warm pair of dry ski gloves.
Easy there, Rick. Well, let's head over onto the chairlift and test your skills. All right, we're up here on the bunny hill, so Bob, why don't you do a few snowplow turns? Gnarly run, Rick. Nice carving. You've got some mad skills. That was sick.
You want to see gnarly? Well, see that bump over there? I'm going to catch some major air.
Butt plant.
He lost his skis. Yard sale.
Well, thanks for joining us here today. I think that about does it. Bob, Ian, time for some après-ski?
No way, man. We're off to grab some freshies.
Well, we heard the guys talk about après-ski, and actually this is one of my favorite parts of skiing.
What is this? It sounds French.
Yeah, it is. I guess the Frenchness sort of gives it an air of specialness, right? But après-ski is basically the party that you have after you're finished skiing.
So usually you would have parties after skiing.
Right, so you finish your ski day, you've called it a day, you've glided down those slopes, and you head on over to the lodge, the little cabin. Grab a beer or two or maybe some hot alcoholic drink and kick back and relax with your friends.
Wow. So it's popular for families to go to a ski resort and stay there for a couple of days. So this is when you would do this with your friends or family.
Yep. And you know what? If it's with your friends, it's going to last until late into the night.
All right, so it sounds fun. And next time, maybe if you go skiing with your friends and you guys are speaking English now, you can use all these great phrases and maybe surprise your friends if you tell them, let's go grab some freshies or something like that.
Yeah, you'll sound pretty dialed, pretty cool.
All right, so that's all the time we have for today.
Skiing is much more than a winter sport. It is a cultural phenomenon that transcends geographic boundaries, evoking images of pristine mountain slopes, icy exhilaration, and the fusion of technology with the raw beauty of nature. In this environment, language becomes an indispensable tool, a means to capture both the technical precision of equipment and the artistic flair of turning a descent into an expression of freedom. For decades, the vocabulary of ski culture has evolved to include a unique set of terms and expressions that convey everything from the quality of the snow to the manner in which skiers communicate on the slopes. When we talk about fresh powder, for instance, we are referring to the light, recently fallen snow that creates ideal conditions for skiing, a phrase that instantly evokes the image of untouched, glistening expanses in the mountains. Similarly, terms like bindings, moguls, chairlift, and even slang expressions such as gnarly or sick encapsulate aspects of the sport that are as technical as they are emotional. These expressions are not used in isolation. They form a lexicon that is as much a part of the skiing experience as the crisp air and majestic peaks. The linguistic landscape of ski culture reflects the deep-rooted passion that skiers have for their sport. In many ski resorts around the world, from the snowy landscapes of the Rocky Mountains to the alpine slopes of Europe, The language of skiing is spoken fluently by enthusiasts who have dedicated countless hours to perfecting their technique. Advanced vocabulary in ski culture often involves not just naming objects, but also articulating experiences and emotions. A skier might describe the experience of hitting the slopes as more than just starting a run. It is an invitation to experience the thrill of weightlessness and the rush of adrenaline as the cold wind whips past. This phrase, along with others like taking a spill or catching major air, transforms a physical act into an emotive narrative. It is through such expressive language that skiers convey the unpredictability of the sport, the moments of sheer exhilaration when one catches air after launching off a jump, or the humorous self-deprecating acknowledgement of taking a spill after an unexpected fall. For many Americans who grew up with ski trips as a rite of passage, these expressions are etched deeply into their memories. There is an almost poetic quality to the language of skiing. It is a language that speaks both to the technical aspects of winter sports and to the shared experiences that bind a community together. Whether describing the intricacies of a well-timed carving turn or the sensory delight of gliding over a field of fresh powder, ski vocabulary serves as a conduit for both information and emotion. What makes this language particularly advanced is its ability to weave together the literal and the metaphorical. Technical terms acquired through experience and practice are seamlessly interlaced with idioms and slang that capture the spontaneity and rebellious nature of youth on the slopes. Consider, for instance, the expression freshies. This informal term, derived from fresh powder, is used by skiers to denote snow that has not been disturbed by previous tracks, often regarded as the most coveted for carving and high-speed runs. The word freshies is emblematic of how the sport's lexicon evolves, taking a traditional term and reworking it into a playful, marketable piece of jargon that resonates with younger generations. It is not merely a description of a physical condition on the mountain. It is a cultural statement, a nod to the quality of the experience and a rallying call to fellow enthusiasts. In this way, advanced vocabulary in ski culture functions as both a technical descriptor and a badge of identity. Moreover, the language of skiing is inherently dynamic and context-dependent. The way a seasoned professional communicates on a race broadcast is different from the casual banter exchanged among friends at the ski lodge. In competitive environments such as the World Cup or the Olympics, commentators must employ precise terms like giant slalom or downslope to describe complex maneuvers and strategies. Their language is marked by a high level of technical detail, ensuring that every movement and decision is analyzed and conveyed with accuracy. Yet even in these high-stakes settings, the language retains an undercurrent of passion and excitement, a reminder that behind every technical term lies the human element of risk, determination, and triumph. As these expressions spread beyond the professional sphere, they influence the everyday speech of ski enthusiasts, who adopt them when recounting a memorable run or discussing equipment issues. Language in the ski community also serves as a powerful marker of group identity. The shared vocabulary among skiers creates a common ground that transcends regional accents or backgrounds. Whether one is in Aspen, Vail, Chamonix, or Niseko, the consistent use of terms like moguls, the small bumps that form on a ski slope, or bindings, the devices that secure the boots to the skis, helps form a collective linguistic identity. This common language not only facilitates clearer communication, but also fosters camaraderie among those who share the passion for the sport. It is this linguistic unity that allows for a seamless transfer of knowledge and skills, from the experienced veteran to the curious beginner, ensuring that the rich traditions of skiing are preserved and passed on through generations. Furthermore, the sophisticated vocabulary and expressions in ski culture reveal a deeper narrative of innovation and adaptation. Skiing, as both a sport and an art form, has constantly evolved with technological advancements in equipment and changes in training methods. As new technologies emerge, such as improved binding systems, high-performance skis, and advanced snowmaking techniques, so too does the language that describes these developments. This evolving lexicon mirrors the constant state of flux within the sport, where every new invention or technique is accompanied by fresh terms that capture its essence. The incorporation of such technical language into everyday conversations not only enriches the vocabulary of the ski community, but also highlights how language adapts to technological change. It reminds us that language itself is living and evolving, shaped by the tools and practices it is meant to describe. For non-native speakers and English learners, mastering this specialized vocabulary represents an invaluable opportunity to immerse themselves in authentic, context-rich language. Skiing is a sport with a global following, and its language, filled with vivid imagery and culturally resonant expressions, provides a practical framework for improving both listening comprehension and speaking fluency. By engaging with the language of skiing, learners encounter real-life examples of how technical details are communicated in an informal yet precise manner. They are exposed to the interplay between descriptive adjectives, idiomatic expressions, and colloquial phrases, all of which serve to make the subject matter both accessible and engaging. Such immersion in authentic dialogue not only improves vocabulary retention, but also enhances the learner's ability to navigate complex conversations with confidence. Ultimately, the language of ski culture is a reflection of its environment, a blend of the technical and the expressive that captures the essence of the sport. It is a language that speaks to the high adrenaline world of mountains and snowy slopes, yet it retains a human element that makes it relatable and enduring. As skiers discuss everything from the nuances of a well-executed turn to the simple pleasure of gliding over fresh powder, the vocabulary they use transcends mere description. It becomes a shared code that unites enthusiasts across generations and geographic boundaries. This linguistic framework, infused with both precision and passion, is what enables the ski community to communicate effectively, exchange ideas, and build a sense of belonging that is as enduring as the mountains themselves. In summary, this first part of our exploration into advanced vocabulary and communication practices in ski culture has laid the groundwork by examining the unique language that has evolved around the sport. We have seen how terms such as fresh powder, bindings, moguls, gnarly, and freshies are not only technical descriptions but also cultural artifacts that encapsulate the spirit of skiing. These expressions, whether used in casual conversations or on high-stakes broadcasts, reflect the dynamic interplay between technical accuracy and emotional expression. This foundational understanding of ski-related vocabulary provides the tools necessary to communicate effectively about the sport and serves as a reflection of the passion and creativity inherent in the skiing community. In the next part of this discussion, we will delve deeper into practical conversational techniques and simulated dialogues that illustrate how these advanced expressions are used in real-life interactions on the slopes, further bridging the gap between technical terminology and everyday communication. As our exploration comes full circle, it is clear that the advanced vocabulary and communication techniques developed within ski culture represent far more than an isolated set of expressions for recreational activity. Over the course of our discussion, we have seen how carefully chosen terms such as fresh powder, bindings, moguls, gnarly, and slang expressions like catch some air or grab some freshies serve not only to describe the physical landscape and technical aspects of the sport, but also to encapsulate the emotional energy and vibrant communal spirit that defines the skiing experience. These linguistic elements have evolved organically over decades, reflecting both the technological progress in skiing gear and the changing cultural attitudes of a global community that lives for the thrill of the mountain. It is this interplay between technical precision and expressive creativity that makes ski language a remarkable microcosm of effective communication, a dynamic system where every word and idiom helps to bind together the shared experiences of enthusiasts from diverse backgrounds. In revisiting the practical scenarios we discussed earlier, whether it was explaining a mishap while taking a spill on the slopes, coordinating a meet-up with friends by saying, "Let's hit the slopes," or even negotiating safety and equipment details with phrases like, "snap your boots into your bindings," we recognize that these interactions demand more than mere familiarity with vocabulary. They require a nuanced understanding of context, tone, and the delicate balance between formal instruction and informal, spontaneous dialogue. This balance is evident in competitive settings, where commentators deliver rapid, precise descriptions of technical maneuvers, as well as in casual après-ski conversations that rely on humor and camaraderie to transform minor setbacks into shared laughs. Ultimately, the language on the mountain reinforces a sense of belonging among skiers, establishing a common idiom that transcends regional dialects and cultural barriers. When a skier exclaims that a run was gnarly, or that they caught some major air, these expressions serve as signals communicating not only specific technical details, but also the exhilaration and collective joy inherent in the experience. Such expressions become part of a global lexicon that promotes a shared identity among enthusiasts, forging a powerful, unifying bond in an increasingly diverse and interconnected world. Yet, the significance of this language is not limited to the slopes alone. The communicative skills honed by mastering ski vocabulary have wide-ranging applications. In professional environments, the same ability to articulate complex ideas in clear, concise language is critical for effective teamwork and leadership. The discipline of describing a technical process, in our case the nuances of a ski run, is analogous to explaining a complex project at work, where every detail matters and clarity is paramount. The practice of breaking down a problem into its constituent parts, describing symptoms in a structured, methodical way, and using vivid, memorable expressions to capture both facts and emotions can serve as a model for communication in fields ranging from engineering to business negotiations. The lessons learned on the mountain, therefore, extend to the broader realm of interpersonal relations and professional dynamics. They teach us that effective communication is not merely about conveying information. It is about engaging others, inspiring confidence, and building a shared understanding that can defuse tension, foster collaboration, and ultimately drive success. Moreover, the advanced language of ski culture illustrates the inherent adaptability of English as a tool for both technical description and creative expression. As technology and social media have taken a stronger hold on our daily communication, the evolution of ski vocabulary, reflected in the playful and inventive nature of terms like freshies and phrases such as hit the slopes or take a spill, demonstrates how language continues to adapt to new contexts. The rapid exchange of ideas on online ski forums and social media platforms, where skiers from around the world share their experiences, has accelerated the evolution of this lexicon, infusing it with new slang and idioms that capture the immediacy and excitement of the sport. This evolution exemplifies a broader trend in global communication, the merging of technical language with informal speech to create expressions that are both precise and relatable. In doing so, ski language not only facilitates effective communication on the mountain, but also serves as a microcosm of modern, dynamic language practices that are essential in today's globalized society. Furthermore, the cultural dimensions embedded in ski language emphasize the importance of both inclusivity and intercultural exchange. Skiing is truly a global sport, attracting participants and enthusiasts from every corner of the world. In international ski resorts and competitions, the ability to communicate using a shared vocabulary, even when English is not the first language of all participants, proves to be a powerful unifying force. Expressions such as bindings, moguls, and fresh powder are readily understood and used by skiers across continents, allowing for seamless exchange of information and experiences. This shared language not only enhances on-slope coordination and safety, but also fosters a sense of global community. For non-native speakers, learning and using these expressions provides both a practical tool for navigating sporting experiences and a deeper appreciation of how language bridges cultural divides. In addition, the emphasis on clear and expressive language in ski culture resonates beyond the sports domain, influencing everyday communication strategies. The ability to describe a scenario accurately and evocatively, whether it's detailing how a moment of catching major air transformed an ordinary run into an unforgettable experience or explaining how taking a spill turned into a humorous anecdote, demonstrates the essential qualities of effective communication: clarity, efficiency, and emotional resonance. These qualities are universally valuable in any context that involves explaining complex ideas, sharing personal experiences, or engaging in collaborative problem-solving. By internalizing these communication practices, individuals enhance their overall language proficiency and become better equipped to navigate both technical discussions and casual conversations. The lessons derived from ski language underscore that the art of communication is about finding the right balance between precision and expressiveness, a balance that is equally important whether one is on the slopes or in a boardroom. Reflecting on our journey through the advanced vocabulary and communication practices of ski culture, it is evident that mastery of this language offers far-reaching benefits. Not only does it empower skiers to articulate technical details and share their experiences with clarity and passion, but it also fosters a sense of community and mutual understanding among a diverse, global audience. The dynamic nature of ski language, shaped by both tradition and innovation, mirrors the ever-changing landscape of global communication. It adapts to new technologies, absorbs influences from various cultures, and continually reinvents itself to remain relevant in an increasingly interconnected world. By mastering these expressions, individuals develop a versatile set of communication skills that transcend the immediate context of skiing and can be applied to various aspects of life. Whether coordinating with team members during a high-speed run or engaging in online discussions with fellow enthusiasts, effective use of language enhances both the personal and collective experience, transforming routine interactions into moments of shared enjoyment and creativity. In essence, the advanced vocabulary and communication practices within ski culture serve as a powerful example of how technical language can be seamlessly integrated with everyday expression to create a rich, culturally resonant lexicon. This language not only describes the physical and technical aspects of skiing, but also captures the spirit, passion, and communal values that define the sport. It enables us to communicate with precision, build connections with fellow enthusiasts across cultural boundaries, and navigate the complex, exhilarating world of skiing with confidence and humor. As we conclude our exploration, it is clear that the language of ski culture is more than just a collection of technical terms. It is a living, evolving medium that reflects the creativity, resilience, and collaborative spirit of its community. The insights we have gained by studying these advanced expressions underscore the essential role of language in shaping our experiences and connecting us with others. Ultimately, the ability to articulate the nuances of a ski run, from the perfect carving on fresh powder to the inevitable spills and humorous mishaps, is a testament to the power of communication to not only inform but also inspire and unite. This understanding of language, as nurtured in the realm of skiing, enriches our broader communicative abilities, empowering us to face challenges, share our stories, and build bridges across diverse cultural landscapes in our everyday lives. Through the detailed analysis of vocabulary, conversational strategies, and real-world applications in ski culture, we have seen that advanced language skills are not confined to academic or professional settings, but are equally vital on the slopes and in moments of spontaneous collective enjoyment. The journey of mastering ski language, marked by technical precision, cultural nuance, and expressive creativity, offers valuable lessons in effective communication that extend well beyond winter sports. As we continue to engage with this dynamic lexicon, we are reminded that language is both a practical tool and a vibrant cultural artifact, capable of capturing the essence of our experiences and bridging the divides that separate us. When skiers take to the mountains, whether for a competitive race or a leisurely day on the Bunny Hill, communication becomes an essential element of the experience. It is not uncommon to hear a seasoned skier instruct a novice with a mix of technical precision and casual slang that reflects years of on-slope practice. For instance, the phrase "hit the slopes" is not only an invitation to begin skiing, but also a rallying cry that energizes both friends and competitors alike. Such expressions evolve organically within the community, and they function as shorthand that encapsulates the entire experience of skiing. In daily practice, these expressions serve as the connective tissue between technical instructions, such as "snap your boots into the bindings" or "make sure your goggles are secure," and the culturally charged atmosphere that defines the sport. This blend of clear instruction and playful language not only conveys the necessary details about equipment and technique, but also reinforces the communal, fun-loving spirit that underpins ski culture. In a typical on-mountain scenario, a conversation might unfold on a chairlift where an instructor or experienced skier explains a new maneuver. One might hear a statement like, "When you take a spill, try to relax. It happens to the best of us." In this context, the vocabulary is both technical and colloquial. The verb "to take a spill" succinctly describes the action of falling, yet it is delivered in a tone that reassures the listener that mistakes are normal and even expected in this high-adrenaline environment. Similarly, expressions such as "catch some major air" not only refer to the literal act of becoming airborne after hitting a jump, but also evoke the exhilaration and freedom that come with executing a perfect trick. These phrases do more than label actions. They encapsulate emotions, building a narrative that is both informative and motivational. Within the context of a casual conversation on the slopes, the language evolves dynamically. An experienced skier might add humorously, "Don't worry if you wipe out. Just think of it as an impromptu yard sale," using metaphor to soften the blow of an embarrassing fall while still acknowledging the risk inherent in the sport. The practical usage of these expressions is reflected in the way they are integrated into everyday dialogue between skiers of various levels. In group settings at ski lodges or during après-ski gatherings, the language shifts to a more relaxed, conversational tone. A typical exchange might involve a group of friends discussing the best conditions they encountered that day. "Man, that fresh powder was unreal. I was carving my way down the mountain like there was no tomorrow," someone might exclaim, and a friend might respond with, "Yeah, it was gnarly out there. Totally sick, I tell you." Such interactions not only serve as a record of their experiences, but also as a way to bond over shared adversity and triumph. In these moments, advanced vocabulary is mixed with slang, crafting an authentic language that reflects the cultural identity of the ski community. This language becomes a badge of honor, one that instantly signals membership in a group that values both technical skill and the joyful, rebellious spirit of winter sports. Moreover, practical conversational strategies in skiing emphasize the importance of context and clarity. Consider the scenario when a group is trying to coordinate a meetup at the base of a challenging run. One skier might say, "Hey, let's hit the slopes at 10 a.m. so we can catch the freshies before the lift gets too crowded." In this sentence, "hit the slopes" is used as a call to action. Freshies is a slang term derived from fresh powder that instantly communicates desirable snow conditions, and the precise time is offered as a way to organize the group. The structure of such conversations demonstrates a remarkable efficiency. Each term and phrase is loaded with meaning, reducing the need for lengthy explanations. In a fast-paced environment like the ski resort, every word counts, and advanced vocabulary becomes a tool for not only expressing ideas quickly, but also preserving the spirit of camaraderie that binds the community together. It is also crucial to note the role of nonverbal communication in these interactions, which often complements the spoken word. On the slopes, body language, tone, and even visual signals like nods or hand gestures play a vital role in reinforcing verbal communication. When a friend shouts, "Watch out!" while pointing down the slope, the clarity of the message is enhanced by the urgency in the voice and the accompanying gesture. In these moments, the advanced vocabulary that we learn, terms like moguls, bindings, and chairlift, is supported by an entire ecosystem of nonverbal cues that ensure comprehension even under high-pressure conditions. In conversations among skiers, these nonverbal elements add an extra layer of meaning, helping to smooth out potential misunderstandings that might arise from the rapid-fire delivery typical of many ski environments. For instance, while discussing a mishap such as falling during a run, a skier might report, "I took a spill out there," with a resigned smile and a shake of the head, conveying both the unfortunate nature of the event and a sense of humor about it. This combination of language and attitude is central to ski culture, where challenges on the slopes are met with both seriousness and levity. It is this duality, the interplay between technical description and casual everyday expression, that forms the backbone of effective communication in the skiing world. The ability to articulate what happened, whether it be a minor fall or a near miss with a mogul, using the correct terminology and tone, is a skill that can mean the difference between confusion and swift recovery, between an overlooked issue and a timely resolution. Practical conversation in ski culture also often involves instructional components, particularly when seasoned skiers impart wisdom to newcomers. A ski instructor might use a direct approach. "When you're descending, maintain a firm grip on your poles and watch your stance so you don't end up taking a spill." In this context, the language is purposefully clear and directive. Every word is chosen to ensure that the student understands not just the mechanics of the descent, but also the safe practices that will prevent accidents. The expressions used are reflective of decades of accumulated experience, a blend of formal instruction and informal, conversational feedback. This dual approach allows students to learn technical vocabulary and context, reinforcing their understanding through both theoretical explanation and practical demonstration. The fluidity of the language in these scenarios helps bridge the gap between classroom learning and the unpredictability of the slopes. Furthermore, real-life ski interactions often present opportunities for spontaneous humor, which plays a critical role in the way language is used on the mountain. For example, after a particularly clumsy fall or a dramatic wipeout, a skier might quip, "That was a yard sale, man." Such hyperbolic humor not only lightens the mood, but also reinforces the communal bond among skiers by acknowledging that everyone, regardless of skill level, encounters mishaps on the mountain. This sort of language, rich with slang and exaggerated expressions, transforms potentially embarrassing moments into shared jokes that contribute to a relaxed, supportive atmosphere. The ability to navigate these moments with humor requires a command of both standard and colloquial vocabulary, and it highlights the dynamic, living nature of ski-related communication. In a setting where the environment is as unpredictable as a snow-covered mountain, the capacity to laugh at oneself and to downplay the severity of minor setbacks is a testament to the resilience and spirit of the skiing community. Digital communication has further influenced the language of skiing, as many skiers now share their experiences and advice online, through forums, social media, or video blogs. In these virtual spaces, expressions like freshies and hit the slopes become part of an ever-evolving lexicon that reflects both the tradition and modernity of the sport. Online discussions allow skiers from across the globe to exchange ideas, debate the merits of various techniques, and share personal anecdotes in a dynamic, informal manner. This digital dialogue has contributed to the rapid evolution of ski slang, with new terms emerging as quickly as old ones fade into the background. The informal nature of these exchanges fosters creativity, and the immediacy of digital media means that language adapts in real time, often incorporating elements of humor, irony, and even meme culture. For those who learn English as a second language, engaging with these digital conversations provides a vibrant, real-world context to practice their vocabulary, helping them to grasp not only the literal meanings of words, but also the cultural subtleties embedded in everyday ski talk. In multicultural ski resorts, where enthusiasts from different parts of the world converge, effective communication about technical and recreational aspects of the sport becomes especially important. The consistent use of specific ski-related vocabulary creates a common language that transcends regional and linguistic differences. Whether someone is discussing the challenges of carving through moguls or the thrill of catching air off a jump, advanced vocabulary such as bindings, moguls, chairlift, and gnarly forms the foundation for clear, efficient communication. This shared lexicon not only helps to unite the international ski community, but also facilitates the transfer of knowledge and expertise. It is in these moments of cross-cultural exchange that the power of language truly shines, enabling skiers to overcome language barriers and share in the collective passion for the sport. The practical advantages of mastering advanced ski vocabulary are manifold. In a typical ski session, being able to accurately articulate your experience, whether it's describing that the snow was glistening with fresh powder or explaining that you took a hard spill down the slope, allows not only for better personal understanding but also for more effective communication with instructors, fellow skiers, and service professionals. Clear and concise language can lead to quicker troubleshooting in emergency situations, faster diagnosis of equipment malfunctions, and more effective coordination during group activities. In a context where time is of the essence and the stakes are high, these communication skills can make a significant difference in both safety and overall enjoyment of the sport. In essence, the practical use of advanced skiing vocabulary enriches our day-to-day interactions on the mountain, making conversations more engaging, informative, and ultimately more fun. It transforms the act of skiing from a purely physical endeavor into a full-fledged cultural experience, where every descent, every turn, and every fall is embedded in a narrative of shared passion and adventure. The language that we use on the slopes, both technical and colloquial, becomes part of the identity of the ski community, a constantly evolving code that carries with it the history, humor, and collective memories of skiers around the world. By mastering these expressions and integrating them into everyday conversation, skiers not only improve their ability to communicate efficiently, but also gain a deeper appreciation of the artistry that lies in the sport. As you learn to articulate your experiences using terms like hit the slopes, take a spill, catch some air, and grab some freshies, you are not merely expanding your vocabulary, you are also participating in a cultural dialogue that connects you with fellow enthusiasts across continents. This language embodies the dynamic, ever-changing nature of skiing, where each run is a unique performance, Every interaction is an opportunity for connection, and every word contributes to the shared narrative of the sport. Ultimately, the practical and expressive vocabulary of ski culture is a testament to how language can capture both the technical precision of a sport and the vibrant emotions that drive it. The conversational techniques honed on the slopes, whether in digital exchanges or face-to-face interactions, serve as a model for clear, effective communication in a wide array of contexts. The skills developed in describing and discussing skiing experiences are not limited to the mountain. They offer valuable lessons in collaboration, spontaneity, and the art of storytelling. As skiers navigate the complex landscape of slopes and challenges, the language they use mirrors their spirit: bold, inventive, and resilient, capable of transforming even a mishap into a shared moment of laughter and understanding. In conclusion, the practical application of advanced ski vocabulary in real-life conversations brings together both technical precision and creative expression, enabling skiers to communicate effectively, troubleshoot problems quickly, and share in the collective excitement of the sport. These communication practices not only enhance individual experiences on the slopes, but also strengthen the sense of community among global ski enthusiasts. As we have explored in these discussions, mastering this vocabulary is essential for navigating the unique challenges of the mountain environment while celebrating the artistry and adventure of skiing. In our final section, we will reflect on the broader implications of these language practices for effective communication in dynamic, multicultural settings, and summarize the lessons learned from our in-depth exploration of ski culture language.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. A skiing race where you must go through flags.
Slalom.
The building that has restaurants and stores on the ski hill.
Lodge.
Winner.
Champion.
Powder, soft, light snow.
Pow.
Start skiing.
Hit the slopes.
Avalanche, lots of snow falling off the mountain.
Avi.
A person who operates the chairlift.
Lifty.
Fitting very tightly.
Snugly.
A steep hill with high sides shaped like a bowl.
Bowl.
Make something attach by pressing down.
Snap.
A bottom part that attaches the boot to a ski.
Binding.
A pair of glasses used to protect one's eyes.
Goggles.
Bright light that is reflected by the snow.
Glare.
A space on the mountain which is used for skiing.
Slopes.
A bump on a ski hill.
Mogul.
A covering of the hands with each finger separated so as to keep it warm.
Ski glove.
A slow, easy turn where you make a V with the skis.
Snowplow turn.
Turn on your skis with your edges.
Carving.
A line of chairs with a moving cable that carries people up the mountain.
Chairlift.
A party or drinks after skiing.
Après-ski.
Ski on the area that has never been skied before.
Grab some freshies.
Falling so hard that you lose all your ski equipment.
Yard sale.
Used to describe a skier that jumps really, really high.
Catch some major air.
Small hill.
Bump.
Awesome. Cool. Used by ski lovers.
Gnarly.
Fall.
Take a spill.
Let's try that faster. Avalanche. Lots of snow falling off the mountain.
Avi.
Fall.
Take a spill.
A steep hill with high sides shaped like a bowl.
Bowl.
A bottom part that attaches the boot to a ski.
Binding.
A slow, easy turn where you make a V with the skis.
Snowplow turn.
A pair of glasses used to protect one's eyes.
Goggles.
A covering of the hands with each finger separated so as to keep it warm.
Ski glove.
Falling so hard that you lose all your ski equipment.
Yard sale.
A party or drinks after skiing.
Après ski.
The building that has restaurants and stores on the ski hill.
Lodge.
A person who operates the chairlift.
Lifty.
Small hill.
Bump.
Bright light that is reflected by the snow.
Glare.
Winner.
Champion.
Awesome. Cool. Used by ski lovers.
Gnarly.
A line of chairs with a moving cable that carries people up the mountain.
Chairlift.
A space on the mountain which is used for skiing.
Slopes.
A skiing race where you must go through flags.
Slalom.
Used to describe a skier that jumps really, really high.
Catch some major air.
Make something attach by pressing down.
Snap.
Powder. Soft, light snow.
Pow.
Fitting very tightly.
Snugly.
A bump on a ski hill.
Mogul.
Start skiing.
Hit the slopes.
Ski on the area that has never been skied before.
Grab some freshies.
Turn on your skis with your edges.
Carving.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Hit the slopes. It's a perfect day for skiing, so I want to make sure that we hit the slopes before 9 a.m. Hit the slopes. You have a test in 2 days and you haven't studied? You'd better hit the books. Hit the slopes. Wow, I have to be at my job interview in 15 minutes. I need to leave and hit the road. Catch some major air. Tom and I went to the skate park last weekend and I took some great pictures of him catching some air. Catch some major air. The car hit the sidewalk and caught some air before it flipped and hit the street. Catch some major air. I'm always afraid of going too fast on the jumps and catching some air. Gnarly. Those were some gnarly dance moves. You are amazing. Gnarly. Jack and I went to the beach yesterday and surfed some really gnarly waves. Gnarly. Man, that concert last night was gnarly. I can't believe we got front row seats. Take a spill. I was teaching my niece how to ride her bike and she accidentally took a spill. My uncle was so angry. Take a spill. Did you see that? The girl tripped on the sidewalk and took a nasty spill. Take a spill. Craig took a spill on his motorcycle and broke his arm. Well, I think that about does it. We've finished up all the work today and we're ready to go home. That about does it for today's class, everyone. Thanks for coming. That about does it for today's meeting. See you all here next week.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode and gained some new insights. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any future episodes. See you next time.